We got some breaking news, Vikings fans, as they finally made a move at the interior of their offensive line, and they are bringing in a new center, and he goes by the name of Ryan Kelly, former first-round pick out of Alabama in the 2016 NFL Draft, and the Vikings are signing him to a 2-year, $18 million deal, and Kwesi Adofo-Mensah finally did something because we were waiting this whole time throughout day one of NFL free agency, and the only big move the Vikings made so far was signing Isaiah Rodgers, cornerback of the Philadelphia Eagles, but we heard rumors that they had Jonathan Allen in the building, and they also were apparently talking to Will Fries, and the Vikings going the other direction of the other Colts interior offensive lineman that was on their radar, and that being Ryan Kelly. And I'm a big fan of this move. Now, what does this mean for Garrett Bradbury? Could the Vikings be cutting him? They save $5.2 million if they do decide to cut Bradbury, but could we see a position change perhaps for Garrett Bradbury where they try to bump him to left guard? I think that's unlikely, but I could also see a Garrett Bradbury cut here coming in a second. Also, friendly reminder, hit that subscribe button. We'll keep you guys up to date around everything around your Minnesota Vikings throughout this whole free agency period, so hit that subscribe button today. Let's dive into Ryan Kelly here and go through some of his PFF grades. So this past season, he posted out as a 67 overall grade, which is 17th out of all 64 eligible centers. Now he had a pass block grade of 71.9, which is the big kicker here. It was 12th out of 64 centers that were eligible, and we obviously know Garrett Bradbury, he has gotten his ass kicked in the pass protection department over the last couple of seasons with the Minnesota Vikings, so that's a huge, huge upgrade there. And then also the run blocking grade, 64 flat, which was 30th out of all eligible centers there. But even by the year, he has been awesome. Like in 2023, he had a PFF grade of 77.2. 2022, it was 64.3. And even in his rookie year, dating back to 2016, he had a 72.4 overall PFF grade. But this guy, he has been in and out of the lineups over the last couple of seasons due to injury, but he has been always fairly healthy throughout his NFL career, having 4 seasons over 1,000 snaps. And I am thrilled about this move because we have been talking about it all offseason. We got to find that center of the future for J.J. McCarthy. It's looking like Ryan Kelly's that guy, and I would anticipate a Garrett Bradbury cut to be coming here shortly. I don't know if the Vikings maybe want to move Bradbury the guard, but they could also save $5.2 million with cutting Bradbury. So Ryan Kelly getting 2 for 18. I mean, I think that's a steal. I think that's a bargain for the Minnesota Vikings because you're going to take that $5.2 million you get from cutting Garrett Bradbury. We're just pretty much tapping on to the Ryan Kelly deal, and that could leave the Vikings, potentially have some other signings here in free agency. But that is official contract details here. 2 years, $18 million. Great stuff. And just last season, he only allowed 1 sack, 1 hit on the quarterback, 9 hurries, and 11 pressures total. And even the year before that, when he played 882 snaps, he only allowed 1 sack as well, 6 hurries, 7 pressures, and he was only penalized 1 time last season. This is a massive upgrade at the center position for the Minnesota Vikings. And, as free agency kind of went on, I was getting a little concerned. Where would the Vikings go here with their first big splash move in free agency? And I think it's pretty telling that they went with the center position, and they're trying to find the guy where J.J. McCarthy will obviously have some good relationships with Ryan Kelly, hopefully the near future. But also, a lot of people are saying, the Vikings should have went out there and got Drew Dalman. Drew Dalman has just signed a 3-year, $52 million deal, or $45 million deal with the Chicago Bears. Ends up being around $14 million per season. I would have much rather have Ryan Kelly on this 2-year, $18 million deal. Couldn't be happier about this, but listen, last year he played weeks 1, 2, 3. He missed 4, 5 of the season due to injury. Then he also got hurt again last season, but was able to get back into the swing of things for weeks 16, 17, and 18, where he graded out very, very well according to PFF in those spots. So I want you guys to get down in the comments section. Grade it for me. How are you feeling about the Ryan Kelly signing? I got to give this an A. You didn't overpay whatsoever. Now, actually, I do want to check what his contract projection, according to PFF, they had it as a 2-year, $19 million deal. So the Vikings necessarily got him on what the projection was, but we saw so many different moves being made today where these teams were just overpaying for, still good players, but these guys were pretty much unloading the Brinks trucks for these middle-of-the-pack free agents, and the Vikings being patient, and they decided that Ryan Kelly is their guy. So grade the signing for me, A, B, C, D, or F down below in the comments section. Now, coming up here in just a second, we'll talk about the other moves the Vikings made today, that being Isaiah Rodgers. Also talk about Sam Darnold. Potentially, could they bring back Byron Murphy? And then we will close it out with a little Cam Bynum talk. But before we do so, I got to give a massive shout-out to today's presenting sponsor, and that is Factor Meals. Now, eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/VikingsChat50off and use code VikingsChat50off to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code VikingsChat50off at factormeals.com/VikingsChat50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. Now, if you guys are ready to optimize your nutrition this year, Factor has chef-made gourmet meals that make eating well easy. They're dietitian approved and ready to heat and eat in 2 minutes so you can feel right and feel great no matter what life throws at you. And also Factor arrives fresh and fully prepared. It's perfect for any busy lifestyle. And here, working at Chat Sports, I'll tell you this, here in free agency, I'm not going to feel like making a home-cooked meal when I get off work today. And that's where Factor is going to come in and completely change my life. So one more time, eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/VikingsChat50off and use code VikingsChat50off to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code VikingsChat50off at factormeals.com/VikingsChat50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. Massive shout out to Factor for sponsoring today's show. Best in the game. Trust me, give them a look. Got that link for you guys in the comments and description of today's show. Super fired up about the Ryan Kelly signing. And a lot of people were panicking because the Vikings didn't make a lot of moves besides this guy earlier today. Isaiah Rodgers signing with the Minnesota Vikings on a 2-year, $15 million deal, just $8 million guaranteed. Now, I've seen people, freaking out a little bit, saying, how are we going to roll out with Isaiah Rodgers, being a starting cornerback, what else are they going to do at the cornerback position? I still think there's a very good chance Byron Murphy actually ends up returning to the Minnesota Vikings. Alec Lewis, beat reporter for The Athletic, suggested that could be the situation. And if you would have a cornerback group of Mekhi Blackmon, Isaiah Rodgers, Dwight McGlothern, Byron Murphy, I would be a big fan of that group. And plus, that doesn't mean the Vikings would have to go, draft a cornerback. And as it stands right now, you still got a big need at the interior of your offensive line, specifically at the guard spot. Why don't you just go bring in Willie Fries? Go bring in Ryan Kelly's right guard here to Minnesota. Then I would be okay with them just rolling with Blake Brandel, or you could potentially head in a different direction as well. The Vikings, they got a lot of holes still to fill on this roster, but also some big news today. Sam Darnold, man, he ended up signing that massive extension with the Seattle Seahawks, and it is a 3-year, $100.5 million deal, 55 guaranteed. Quickly here on Darnold, very happy for him. I thought this was right around the deal we thought he was going to get. We've heard around the Baker Mayfield contract thrown out there. Didn't really buy into the reports that he was going to get, possibly $25, $30 million. Obviously ended up being a good amount more than that, but only 55 guaranteed, so necessarily a 2-year deal with an easy out after the second year of the contract. I cannot wait also for Vikings in Seattle this year. J.J. McCarthy versus Sam Darnold. I know Vikings fans are going to be on the edge of their seats for that one, so I can't wait. But also one that hurt today, Cameron Bynum ended up signing a 4-year, $60 million deal with the Indianapolis Colts. And listen, Cam, nothing but love for you, my friend. I thought the Vikings made the right decision, letting him walk out the door. $15 million per year was just a little too rich for my liking, but I think it was the right call. Josh Metellus is heartbroken. He tweeted out on Twitter a broken heart emoji, which I kind of got a kick out of. But Vikings getting a new dance coordinator. So maybe one of you guys watching right now, you have to coordinate the dances for the Vikings secondary this season. But on a serious note, Cam Bynum, awesome with the Minnesota Vikings. Super happy for him that he is going to go get that bag with the Indianapolis Colts. But if you guys made it to the end of today's show, our breaking news video on the Vikings signing Ryan Kelly, just hit me with a SKOL down below in the comment section. Or if you're fired up about the Ryan Kelly signing, give me a SKOL down below in the comment section. And also, I'm on Twitter. Hit me up over there. At Pat Siepman is the handle. If you guys give me a follow over there, I'll give you guys a follow right back. But thank you guys so much for watching today's show. As always, SKOL Vikes.